guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're focusing on the Rugby Championship as well as the Eight Nations tournament that is taking place at the end of 2020. Now there's a lot of excitement and hype as international rugby gets closer and closer, but obviously there's a little bit of confusion clearly around the topic of Rugby Championship and Eight Nations tournament. Now the Eight Nations tournament is supposedly the Six Nations team joined with Japan, who have recently pulled out, and Fiji. Now rumours are circulated that South Africa are next in line to possibly join the Eight Nations. But during that time of the tournament, South Africa should be playing in the Rugby Championship, which is scheduled to take place November, December. So it's either one or the other this team needs to decide on. Now, no official statement or comment has come from South Africa yet. It is all talks right now. Firstly, on the Eight Nations topic, I personally feel, I'm not complaining. I'd love South Africa to join, but I want us to stick with the Rugby Championship. I do, however, feel that Georgia deserves a spot in this tournament. And I'm talking the Eight Nations tournament. It's because of all the talk and rumours we've had for how many years of Georgia always fighting to get some sort of notice from the Six Nations board, but seemingly, or even World Rugby, but it always seems to bypass. It was Japan that was there, it was Fiji that's there, no sign of Georgia. Meanwhile, if you look or hear the fans talking, a lot of it is like, we want to see Georgia get an opportunity in Six Nations. Relegation for Georgia against Italy, kick out Italy for Georgia. Obviously, not everyone is in agreement. There are others who are saying leave Italy, etc., etc. But when we talk about possibility of removing a team, everyone's saying, you could say 70% of the world is saying give Georgia a reason. And I must say, when it comes to this tournament, they need to get given a shot, because I think they could really provide some sort of entertainment to the game. Now, obviously, your dominant teams would give Georgia a good smashing, maybe here and there. But when it comes to Italy and Fiji, you're going to see a competitive side from Georgia. And I think for that reason, they deserve an opportunity. Having said that, if South Africa were to join, it would be awesome as well. I think it would just ignite the competition, bring a bit more enthusiasm towards it, because you've got another competitive team. Obviously not saying Japan aren't competitive, because they have beaten Scotland and Ireland and South Africa in the past. But if we think of a competitive side, adding South Africa to the mix would be a good tester to see whether or not South Africa will join the North in the future, because that's been the topic most of this year, most of COVID, is will the Springboks join Six Nations teams, will the provincial teams join Pro 14, and it's been debate back and forth and no one really knows what the hell's going on. Besides, that is all talk. Now, obviously, the Vice President of World Rugby, Laporte, has said the Japanese will not come to Europe. We are looking for a nation to replace them. We are in advanced talks with South Africa. It would be great to be able to face the Springboks, the world champions, who can go and bring on the competitive level. And I do agree with that. I think it would be exciting. However, CEO of SANZAAR Marinos has said there's no substance to the story. And he said New Zealand are still set to host a Rugby Championship with Australia in a backup in November, December, obviously knowing of how COVID-19 goes about in New Zealand. But we'll have to wait and see. For me, I like the idea of both. I really do. I think South Africa will be fantastic in this Eight Nations tournament. It will be competitive. It will test the Springboks, and it will give an opportunity to really show how that relationship will build of South Africa joining the Six Nations. But obviously the Rugby Championship, it is legendary. It is history. South Africa are defending champions. They won in 2019. New Zealand are going to want to beat South Africa. Australia are going to want an opportunity, and so will Argentina. There is history there, and it's a battle that we love. South Africa, New Zealand, one of the best games in World Rugby, and it will be sad if that gets missed this year. And if there's any opportunity of that, I obviously want South Africa to join. But I do like the idea of us joining the Eight Nations tournament. But for me personally, Georgia deserves this position. Give it to Georgia. leave South Africa in the Eight Nations, and we work on a tournament maybe next year on how we can progress with this relationship of South Africa joining Europe. For now, let's keep things the way they were. Have the Rugby Championship, have the Eight Nations tournament, but instead of South Africa, give Georgia a go, because I really think they have earned the right to play with these teams and see what they can do. If they get smashed, oh well, they gave it a try, but I think they've done everything in their power. And it's a lot of you said the meme of Japan out, who's next? Georgia goes, we here, and then it's World Rugby. Anyone else? And it's pretty much the idea and the relationship one gets when we look at this. I mean, there's no talk, there's rumored of Georgia, there's fans talking for Georgia, but no one's selecting Georgia. So for me, Georgia to go into the Eight Nations and leave South Africa with the Rugby Championship. But that is just my thoughts on this. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. That'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.